Everything happens at Sexpectation. What you
right. You should have the index cards next time.
I was thinking that.
I was like, I wish she had some index cards or like fold it or something, so it's just not so bright green.
I know.
That's that money green right there. She said everything on green. I ain't mad at it.
Because it's going to be bright as hell. I'm going to have to pick it up and put it down. Until I
it's all right, yeah.
I thought about writing the questions on cards, but I was like...
No, you just print it on cards. Not right now. Print it out and just put it on the card. Tape, glue.
Yes. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? We are live and we are ready. This is the Red Room Talk Adult Fun Factory. The sex and Sexpectations Raw Adult Conversation. And today we about to have a good time. I hope y'all are ready. We got our amazing powerhouse panelists, entrepreneurs, fathers, friends, locticians in the building, baby, because we about to just have a wonderful time tonight. If you don't know nothing about the Raw Sexpectation Podcast, know that it is uncut, it is live, and we about to talk about all the tea, okay? And shout out first and foremost to Sexpectation Studios to have us here for our 4th live Sexpectation Podcast. So shout out to them. They already know who they is. T all day. So we're gonna go ahead and get started this afternoon, and we're gonna have y'all introduce or get them to introduce themselves. Okay, so we're gonna start with Lawrence.
All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Lawrence Souffrant. I am a life coach and professional speaker, where I focus on emotional intelligence, but I have an emphasis on masculine and feminine energy. Oh, and I'm married, 17 years, babe. I love you.
Thank you for reminding me. We gotta put that out there. That our status. Okay, so that's important as well. So, all right.
Well, I am Stephanie Kirkland. I'm owner of Humanity Studios. I'm just kind of a simple kind of girl. I dabble in a whole lot of things, and I'm here with my girl Nita.
Yes, that's Boo Nita. Okay.
Wait. Single, take it.
Oh, I'm single.
Got another single person on the roster. All right, now we're gonna move over to.
Hi, my name is Chelsea Nicholas. I am a local loctician and trichologist. So I focus on scalp and hair loss, specifically with locks, though.
Yeah.
I don't do nothing else but locks.
Okay.
But that's how I know her.
Yeah.
But yeah. Status.
Hey. All right.
That's what I'm talking about. We won't need no words today. We were talking about situationship last time. We ain't even got words. We got ta-da-da-da. Okay? All right.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Okay? So, I am, if the people that don't know me, I'm a sexologist and loveologist. I am Nita Love, your certified love and sex coach located in Huntsville, Alabama. So, let's just say, if you're having problems in the bedroom, I'm your girl. If you're single and you want to explore your sexuality, you want to know more about sex and sex education, because no matter how old we get, sex education is definitely needed, okay? So that's where I come in, and also a love and dating coach. So today we got our panelists. We may have our boo Talina, the host, still jump in. Y'all, I can't, y'all. Y'all gotta be in Sexpectation to see the cameras, okay? But anyways, Talina, the host, it will be here soon enough, and she's the partnering or the face of Who's Thirsty, so she may pop in and see us as well. All right, y'all. So y'all already know it's live, it's adult, but we gotta start off with what we do. We're all on the stage. We're all some form of entrepreneurship. Is everybody on the stage full entrepreneur, part-time, full entrepreneurship, full? Okay. So let me find out. So that's encouragement, okay? Because let me tell y'all, entrepreneurship is not easy.
That's a fact.
So have you all have, like, what's the best part about being an entrepreneur? Anybody? Okay, go ahead, girl.
Everything.
Everything.
Yes. I don't really like the whole office setting, working for other people thing. So entrepreneurship works great.
Freedom.
Freedom.
Okay.
Freedom.
That works. Okay, so anybody else good thing about entrepreneurship?
It's control of my time.
Ooh.
I don't like people
I heard
telling
that
me.
before. Please explain.
Yeah, I don't like people telling me what to do, when to do it. Like when I hear people need to have permission to go on vacation,
Yeah, that's
or
crazy.
like, hey, I'm sick. Is it cool if I take the day? I'm like, what? Who you asking? Like we grown, right? But I get it. That's the typical
the structure.
9 to 5. So for me, I like the fact that because work has to get done regardless.
Right.
But I like the fact that I can control my time as to when I do my work.
That's right. I love it. All right. Sissy Pooh.
I'm going to piggyback off of both of y'all. Again, it's the freedom of time, being able to do what I need to do when I need to do it. Because I've dabbled and gone back and forth between having a job and being full-time, and you have your freedom in entrepreneurship. Being able to create for me is important.
Yes.
And so being able to create when I want to create is important.
Yes. Entrepreneurship. So a lot of people don't even believe this, but I've been working in the sex industry as a side thing for about 8 years. But me taking it on, this wonderful beauty over here was like, you need to just go full out. You're tired. I was trying to juggle a whole 9 to 5 and a business and everything, and I was about to pull my hair out. Like, it was stressful. And she was like, you need to release something. And I'm like, what is it going to be? She's like, your job. I was like, who?
Just like that.
It was definitely my job, baby. You're scaring me right now. Like, she was scaring me a little bit. But every time I came to get my locks done, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't see them locks on here. She was like, Nita, your job is in the way. Your job is in the way. And I was like, okay. So finally, stuff got rough at the job, and I let it go. And when I say I have not looked back, baby, it's been gas pedals, and we running, okay? Because I really needed that. I really needed to release that. But there has been struggles along the way. Okay, let me just say that. So before I start, what are some struggles in being an entrepreneur? I mean, and we all have different palettes. So I'm a coach. I'm a professional sex coach. You're a loctician and also a Pilates instructor now, right? Congratulated.
Almost, yes.
Yes.
Almost.
And then we have Miss Paint Masterpiece right here, just be doing her thug thizzle, okay? And then we have Lawrence over here that does coaching, speaking,
Yeah,
affirmation,
bunch of
mentorship.
things. Yeah,
So
yeah.
what has it been easy?
What hasn't been easy?
No, has it?
Oh,
has
has
being
No.
an entrepreneur easy?
No.
No.
You'll have mornings you wake up and you feel like you're crazy.
Thank y'all.
Simple and plain.
Probably want to quit almost every day. Not almost every day. I'll put it
Every
this
other
way.
day.
Yeah, it's I'm ready to quit until the checks come in and say, you know what, this is okay. I could keep it.
I feel that. I felt that in my soul right now.
Yeah. But I because it's a lot. Especially, I think the hardest thing to kind of answer your question is, as an entrepreneur, it's kind of unwise to have one stream. But managing multiple streams is also really taxing, especially when they all popping. And when they're all popping, it's like, yo, this is a lot. But then you're grateful when they're all not popping.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, I'm glad I got this here, I got that there. So, you know, it's just having to do so much to be comfortable, because you're never really comfortable. You just don't know what the quarter is gonna bring. You know.
Ooh, that sounds like a toxic relationship.
It can be.
I'm
But, like, I think it
sorry.
just depends on the industry that you're in. So, like, for hairstylists, I see a lot of people that don't specialize, basically, have struggles and they want to quit and they want to have stability, but I don't really have those problems.
Looking for wood.
Right.
You know, I don't have those issues just because I realized a long time ago through my mentor, like, niche down and niche down quick. And stay in your lane, that's your lane, stay in it. If you want to branch out, make sure it has something to do with the lane.
The redirected.
Yeah, but like, don't be out here without a purpose, basically.
Yeah.
The purpose helps
a lot.
Yeah, I love that you mentioned when you said something. You said a power word when you talk about entrepreneurship. You said multiple streams. So basically, like, don't put yourself under one hat necessarily, because when that hat don't get full, you need to be able to pull from other places. But you mentioned mentorship. So, like, those two are, like, definitely giving nuggets, okay?
Yeah, and let me also clean that up just a little bit, because we hear multiple streams a lot, but you have to start with one stream. Like, you don't jump. You can't start multiple streams, because then none of them are going to really take off.
Right.
So you have to, in the high season of that one stream, put some money to the side, do whatever you got to do to prepare for that next stream. Because in whatever industry you're in, there's ups and downs, it's ebbs and flows, you know what I mean? It's like really prosperous, like, yo, this is crazy. And then it can get scary, it can get like dark, right? So during those prosperous things, one of the things that I do is I spend my money a certain way. So that way when that particular industry starts to, or whatever avenue I'm doing, when that slows down, that's during that slow season, I'm not working on my other stream, so that could take off. So I'm just saying that because I don't want people to just think, hey, let me do 5 things at one time. You'll never make it. Yeah, you'll never make it that way. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. Hey. Okay, so life is real. First of all,
we were just talking about that.
life is real.
Okay.
So thank y'all.
And are you a full-time entrepreneur as well?
I am.
And that's why life is life, and ain't it?
Listen, this is real life entrepreneurship. And the only reason why I feel like I look decent enough because I was literally shooting for a voiceover. And so I was already, and I was like, listen, it's been a whole day.
We got it.
But we're here. We're together. I said, look at God. You had me. That's why it's so important to be obedient.
Yeah.
Because I've been obedient throughout the whole day, and it's just been like, oh, you got to do this, and now the prescription's ready for your son. Okay, and then do this. All right, don't forget that. I'm like, when did you dress me? So anyway, I apologize for my tardiness, but I guaranteed you that it's worth it.
That's what I'm talking about. But you
I
showed.
guaranteed you it's worth it.
I am dead. Okay, well, thank you for coming, friends. I
Thank
love
you for
so much.
having me.
And this is Talina, your host, and tell them a little bit about yourself since you
And
kept
your
on
status.
being here. And your relationship status.
Because Mita
Whoa.
wants to know.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Jump right up on that.
Even though she didn't share hers, I just want to throw that out there. But go ahead.
I did.
Oh, I can't.
Okay,
do
what
that.
let me know what was y'all's relationship status?
Why did that?
That does matter.
She said, okay, so we have married,
Faithfully married, amen.
faithfully
Hallelujah.
happy.
Bless him.
Wife was popping that dress the other day. What's she at, wifey?
It's her birthday, so she's getting ready.
Oh,
It ain't over.
got a
It ain't
birthday
over.
soon? Okay, too early. Too early. Okay, and then we have then we have Stephanie, who says she is.
I am single.
Okay, and then we have Chelsea, and she says she. What is it? Bada boom. Okay. We da. Okay, it's something like that.
I like that.
So what about you?
All right, so my name is Talina, your host. Thank you so much again for having me on your podcast with all these amazing entrepreneurs. Whatever your status is, maybe. My status is I'm always open to positive, good energy. And I pray that I stay aligned with the people and energies that I need to stay aligned with. And so that's what I'm doing.
That's the
and
same
if
thing I said.
you are on that path, then boom, bada bam.
Boom. See, now we got bada boom, and we got boom, bada bam.
And
Cause
boom, bada bam, look at you got a ham.
so I love
No
it.
pork.
And somebody said I did not say my relationship status, and I am not getting into it with my boo thing later.
Yeah,
So,
there we go.
babe,
There we
I
go.
love you. You're my everything. And my Glorilla
And y'all look
boys.
amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
Look at y'all.
We cutting up tea. Okay, so now we're gonna get down. We had a few minutes opening up, and y'all know we gotta get to the sexy stuff, the sex topics, all of the good stuff that people send to me, so we can talk about. And I love that. I love that people like send me stuff. If you send me any questions, send it to needaloveexperience@gmail.com. Okay, so questions. They coming in. And so we're going to deep dive into a question that came in about celibacy.
All right.
So someone said, why does it seem that a celibacy is outdated or unrealistic? Rather than celebrating a person's personal choice to give themselves power over their bodies, why don't we celebrate celibacy today?
I didn't know you were going that way.
What,
But
to whoever, so I'm guessing, so the question came from actually a male friend of mine who thought that women who had children didn't have the right to say they were celibate. And they felt like that was kind of like, why are you gonna be celibate now? Like you had these kids.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
So
I
why
didn't get
are you
what
gonna
you
be
were saying.
saying that now? So the question came up to, is celibacy outdated? Like, do we really see it as an unrealistic expectation? What do we think, y'all? Like,
I want to put some spin on it.
oh, okay.
Okay, so telling your host, mixologist extraordinaire, listen, I see a lot of things at these bars. I see a lot of things. And this is how I feel. I have male friends and I have female friends, and I know that type of perspective where they're like, okay, you've already had the kids, like what you want to hold out for now? I think it just depends on why a woman is doing it or why a man is doing it, because there are men and women who are celibate.
That's right now.
Right? So, and celibacy is not necessarily always about, I know I've seen women and men who get to a point where they're like, I don't want to just casually date and hop around. So yes, I might be celibate right now, but if I find someone and I trust that person and we build something and we have something real, then I'll be open to it, versus using it as a weapon like, yeah, you gonna do all this for me and you ain't gonna get none.
Right.
Does that make sense? Like, so I think there's just a difference. Sometimes you got to find yourself. You need to get that thing a break sometimes.
Yeah,
Sometimes
you definitely
you
do. You have to disconnect from the
Look out.
physical space, right?
Yeah, most
So what do you
definitely.
think when you talk about men saying that they're in their celibacy phase? Is that something that you hear a lot? Like a man saying like, I'm going to be celibate? I mean, I'm not looking at you for the ultimate man perspective, but you are.
Well, I mean, yeah, I talk to a lot of men from different walks, different cultures, and there are men who choose to be celibate, but most men that are celibate are involuntarily celibate. Incels is what they call them.
So you mean they don't have a person?
They not just that they don't have a person, but they struggle with attracting a person for sex, and they're too broke to pay for it. So they're involuntarily. Yeah, so they're called incels. That's the term. But for the men who are celibate, a lot of them that choose to be celibate, it's for spiritual empowerment. A lot of them, it's because of the grind. You know, sex can be a distraction. Though for me, the answer is settle down with somebody, because then I don't gotta look for it because I have somebody with me. Like when you're single, looking for it can pull you away from your grind, right? But when you have a partner,
when it's real good.
well, when it's real good, I think that's a great thing from a creative perspective. Because wanting it, channeling that energy into something more productive can make you rich.
Ooh.
Right? So you want it real good
Love when
with
you
the
drop
self-discipline.
the
You feel me?
We got to run that back. You said, because I want to make sure y'all heard it. You said challenging the energy or whatever.
Yeah, channeling that sexual energy. If you read the book Think and Grow Rich, he talks about it a lot.
Okay.
Right? And learning, and I talk about it in my course too, Restoring Masculinity, lsmasculinity.com. You can get that course, is available now.
That's what you're
I talk about transmuting that energy, right? And so pretty much what you do is you take that sexual energy and like you really want it, and then you start to envision like a problem. And what you're really doing is you're taking that energy, and the energy that you would have put in looking for sex is now converted. I'm really dumbing it down, but it's now converted or transmuted into whatever this problem is. And if you're talking about becoming wealthy, it's all about solving problems. Right. If you're not solving the problem, you're not gonna make no money. And so in doing that, you get all these ideas and you write them down. If you're still not getting some, then you have the energy to actually execute. And the idea is I'm not going to satisfy myself sexually until I reach certain milestones and markers. So those men will choose to be celibate, but still want you around because you turn them on.
Right.
And they're saying, I need you, like I need your energy.
that energy.
Yeah.
To channel the energy.
So I can keep.
That sounds like some transformational stuff. Like
Yeah,
when
it's
I
high
think of
level.
that.
It's
Yeah,
not, it's for the gods. It's not for the bums.
That's for the men. That's what you trying
No,
to say?
it's for the gods.
The
So
god.
in my course, I have 4 categories of men. You have the bum, the basic, the king, and the god. It's the gods that are able to do that, not the bums.
If you ain't got this book, you need to get it. Or I'm trying to train it myself. I want to meet my higher calling and all that. Okay, so I love that, and I want to kind of piggyback off that. When you talk about celibacy, and the guy that me and him were talking about this, he was speaking on like he feel that it's like not ignorant in a way, but he was like it's kind of dumb to have 3 kids, and now I'm trying to talk to you, and you're like choosing to take the cookie away. And it's like, it was like, listen though, but, and it was similar to what both of you said, sex is an energy. And when you look at it for what capacity it has, what she said, some people have to learn how to control the energy, right? Some people have to learn how to take the sexual energy and change it into something else, because just like any other drug, sex can be addictive. So if you don't learn how to challenge that sexual energy, you can really put yourself in some crazy situations. And sometimes it may take 3 kids or 2 kids or I don't know, whatever, or not even children, but sexual misconduct, right? For you to understand that, like, dang, I may need to take a break and let my mind, my physical, my body, and my emotions come together. You know, but a lot of people fear that. You know, so if that's why it's good to talk about celibacy and know that the practice is never outdated.
But it's a selfish perspective for someone to stand on the outside and try to judge what you've decided you're going to work on for yourself.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, it just shows that they don't understand that you are working towards something. It's not about just choosing to say, oh, I'm not having sex. It's a mental piece that comes along with all of that. And that's where they're not connecting. You know?
I was gonna say that sounds very entitled. Very much so.
But
It's
I
almost
mean,
like, I want some. Why you not giving me none?
but
You gave them
It's
some.
almost
Right.
like, yeah, it's almost like you did this and there's proof that you did this. So because you did this, continue.
yeah.
Fuck whatever you got going on or how you feel. Just
And-
keep doing that.
Celibacy was never in style. I just want to keep it 100.
Oh, okay.
Most people are not celibate.
Because
Like in human history, if you just study human history, they've been getting it going. Like that's the norm.
Yeah, it's human nature.
Yes, so celibacy typically is for some higher cause. And if we're gonna be honest, right, and raw, there's still no objective proof that you can achieve the higher cause through celibacy.
right.
It's still just a theory that's
Right.
subjective that might work for some people and not everybody. But it wasn't really the indated thing to do.
Right.
It was promoted, when Christianity became the dominant religion, started controlling the masses, and I believe in the Lord. So don't start,
Don't beat 'em up, man.
I believe in
Okay.
the Lord, but we're gonna be honest, right? When
Yes.
Christianity became the dominant religion, they put celibacy, particularly on the black community, so they won't produce as much. Because they knew if we knew that, because we always outnumbered them, but if we knew that we outnumbered them, we might overthrow them for real. So they said 1 wife and wait till marriage to have sex. But the master would have his wife and his mistress, and even some of the slaves, and he was never being celibate. His kids was never being celibate. His granddaddy wasn't being celibate. So it was something that was forced on us. Not saying Africans didn't practice it, but once again, they practiced it for higher reasons. Most cultures were not celibate, but what they did support is accountability. Meaning if you got pregnant, or if you got a person pregnant, you're responsible for that. But not just you, the whole tribe is responsible for that. So, I mean, I don't think celibacy was ever the thing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not like a personal, because when someone said we're human, right? And I think that's that space. Like, it's a human, like, people don't make it like a human thing. It's something that you said I definitely got to get back to. A lot of people do feel entitled to the body once there is transactions and things being made, right? So transactions not necessarily meaning money, but we mean in time,
Right.
energy,
Right.
finances, all the things that go into dating and getting to know people.
Right.
like people expect something in return, and that where I think it comes down to the entitlement of, you know, if I'm spending time with you, I'm doing all these things, like, I'm not trying to be funny, but a lot of people will give sex as a transactional type of thing, even in marriage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
what's that song? Jasmine Sullivan, one of her songs, in the beginning, there's like a conversation, and the woman is basically like, y'all like to call people hoes, but you be tricking in your marriage, because if you want something, you gonna go have sex for it with your husband, and he's gonna give you what you want.
Yeah. And that's the thing. So let's talk about that transactional sex thing. And we talk about it as, you know, there's different forms of sexual connection, but transactional sex or entitlement of doing tit for that, you know, it happens. It happens every day, right? So it's not like we're talking about anything that isn't heard of, even in marriage, because a lot of people feel, well, if I do this, I take this care. You know, y'all see it on TikTok. He taking the trash out. He cleaning the things. He doing all of this stuff. He's showing this, and she like, and it's like, I'm feeling that, like, ooh, he's doing all of these things, and that's a turn on for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Speaking on the terminology, and I'm not gonna talk, but the 5 love languages is definitely another platform that teaches, do this, get this. It's a love term at this point. Yeah. With the 5 love language, acts of service. So you're doing things for me, gifts and giving gifts, and, you know, spending quality time, meaning you come over and I'm on you, and the expectation at the end is sometimes sex.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
Go ahead.
I didn't want to do it.
Give it.
You're not wrong. Let me start there. You're not wrong, but if I'm coming from the typical or majority male perspective, it's not so much, yes, I have to do this, that, and the third to get with you, but it's more like I have to do this, that, and the third so you can be attractive enough to have sex with me.
Ooh.
If we like that, because if I'm not calling you or texting you, if I'm not taking you out, if I'm not being useful in some sort, you're gonna give it to the guy that is. You're not, I could be as sweet as I want to be, but that ain't enough. For a lot of men, for a lot of women, I would say that's really not enough. So these guys, they're watching the game. When they see dude is taking her out shopping and she's all excited, he's taking her out to dinner, and she's all hot and bothered, she's getting drinks, you know, she's feeling good, and she's going to give him some. But if we have a nice conversation, and I'm still getting your mind, now if you know what you're doing, it is. But we're dealing with the average guy, the conversation is not going to be enough. So he's doing all these, it's his mating ritual. And it works. Because if y'all wasn't giving it up when we did it, we wouldn't be doing it. We don't want to spend money on y'all. Like, listen, can I keep it 100 though? We don't want to spend money on y'all. Half the conversations we acting fake excited just to keep you engaged. I'm gonna keep it 100. Am I lying though? Yo, fellas, am I lying though?
Okay, we got y'all in the comments. I got something for this, because I have heard from more than a few guys that if the was not attached to a woman, they wouldn't deal with women for real. And that makes me wonder, are some men emotionally attracted to not being emotionally attracted to women?
Okay.
So hold on. We gotta repeat that. So you said some men said if it wasn't for the meow.
I've heard,
okay. If
that's
attached to the woman.
They
half of them
a good amount of men wouldn't even want to deal with
because it's
women.
a headache.
Because headache, or you gotta buy some, or she needs something.
I mean, like I feel like it's the same the other way around too.
Y'all too hot.
Wait, hold up. Before I answer her, let her cook. I want to hear what she I want to hear what, yes, please.
No, like it's not
I'm here
the other way around.
I just want to relay the message.
Message received. Also, if y'all are out there and y'all think that women want to deal with y'all, no, it's the dick. And or,
the ba boom.
You feel me? Because it's like, I feel like it's the same both ways.
No,
like
I
women
think-
don't really
yeah.
want to deal with men. Men don't really want to deal with women.
But let's talk about the reality of that.
We like to
though.
have sex.
And
I do appreciate masculinity, so I can't just
course.
be like,
Of
oh,
course,
it's just
of
about the
course.
dick. No, I've had, and it's like it is nice, but I do appreciate healthy masculinity around. It doesn't necessarily have to be just sexual, but I do appreciate men, so I ain't gonna say
But
that.
it's the same thing for a lot of
Don't
guys.
ever get it twisted.
So, and that's something I definitely, because y'all hit on a topic that I got to talk about, because this led into a conversation that I have a lot with my single ladies. When you got this quote, this air quote that's going around, and y'all don't kill me, but y'all know what it is, I gotta match his energy.
Oh.
Who? Where my trash can at, baby? Put that in the trash, because you just spoke on it. If
What
you,
does that mean?
and that's what I'm trying to understand,
Break that
because when you brought up the difference between women saying, "Oh, I'm sick of men," and like as children we grow up that way. Like boys get on girls' nerves. It's like, and then girls get on boys' nerves. It reminds me of the Little Rascals. Just why is it? Because we're like salt and pepper. So men are the salt or the pepper, and women are the salt. We're not supposed to be the same. We were not designed to be the same. We weren't even designed to really like each other. We were created to be fruitful and multiply, but that's a whole nother subject, right? But the thing, space was a companion to up, right? The companion to. But we put on a lot of expectations, especially in heterosexual relationships, to be the all. The bread, the bologna, the cheese, every piece, the mayonnaise. We want it to taste good because we expect that to come fully from everything. So when I meet a lot of single ladies and they say, I'm gonna match his energy, friend, how? How you gonna match
I
the
don't
energy?
even know what that means.
And that's the thing. It's like a lot of women walk around and say that. Well, if he's not giving me time, I'm gonna match that energy.
Oh, so like
if he's not gonna do this,
so
I'm gonna match
okay.
the energy.
Okay.
So it's
Relationship,
yes,
that's what it's gonna
you're
be.
starting
Don't
your
ever
dating
worry.
process trying to match
get
the
it.
energy
I was
of
so confused.
Pepper.
Okay.
How? Sway?
So let me address her, because I'm gonna address you in that same thing. A lot of the men who say, like what you just said, how if there wasn't a cat connected to her, he wouldn't even want to deal with women. A lot of these men aren't dealing with women anyway.
Ooh, not.
No, I'm a because
He's just hot.
What
over
are they
there.
dealing with?
I need to fix
no,
him.
they're not getting the attention they actually want,
Ooh.
right? Like they're not the players they think they are.
I see.
See what I'm saying? So because the men who are getting that energy from women, they recognize the other value because sex is so easy. Once you realize sex is easy, then you start looking for more things than sex.
Yeah.
Like when I left Jersey and I went to Hampton University, shout out to Hampton, my first time at Hampton, I chose Hampton because of how gorgeous the women were. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was fresh out of high school, that was on my mind. Once I was around that many gorgeous women for like a whole semester, it was the norm. So it wasn't as alluring anymore. Now I was like, okay, well, what kind of person is she, right? Like you start to care.
After.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because we're visual in that sense. But a lot of these men, they get frustrated because they do feel like they have to earn or buy sex. And for women, because men are so easy, they don't have to do as much. If a woman was to express sexual interest to most men, he's down to be the hoe. He's like, yeah. Most men are down, but I'm just keeping it on it. So,
No, you're serious.
so I think a lot of men,
Yeah.
they envy that because they got to work hard. But that's why I focus on masculinity. Because masculinity is that champion, warrior, hunter type of energy that says, I take pride in the work that I do.
Right.
Because it's not just getting it, but keeping it. Right? And so if I know what I'm doing, so I know even with my wife, we're 17 years happy, not just together, but happy. I can't speak for what my wife does, but the game I'm running on my wife is top tier game.
At all times.
Listen.
Clock that T.
Because I have that type of player energy that I know, so I flirt with her. I run that game on her. I'm texting her stuff. I'm sending her pics. I'm rubbing her a certain way. I'm giving her different experiences. For me, what makes my marriage thrive is I take that player energy and channel it into one woman. Right? But before I did that, she had to prove to me that she was worthy of all this energy because I had no issues. Like, I could get 5 of them in place of you, but if you're worth the 5, I'll trade them off for
5
different
poo
shit, too.
nannies.
Yeah, easy.
I just want to make sure that we was saying it was the poo
Correct.
nannies.
If the poo nanny, I used to have a starting 5. That's what they called themselves.
Okay. The starting 5.
Yeah, they
Line
knew
them
their
up.
position, had a center or forward. They knew what it was.
Yeah, I get that. I used to have a basketball team too. Back.
I mean, because of the
Back in the day,
experience. When
before
you
you
have a
came.
certain type of experience, you're willing to share because you're not going to get this quality anywhere else. That's just how
No,
I did it. So.
I get that. I get that. So you're saying like a lot of times.
He said hallelujah.
You're saying like a lot of times are men truly interested, even if they're having sex, like interested in anything other than the sexual or the physical, maybe a little emotional, but not the. Is it the whole?
Yeah,
thing?
so men who don't get women. I want to keep clarifying that.
Oh, okay.
Men who don't get women condition themselves to be emotionally numb because it hurts to be unattractive.
We got
So
some
if I
guys
could
in the
just look at
comments,
you-
so definitely feel free to comment, y'all.
So if I could just look at you as an object, I won't be hurt by you. Right? And so I'm not saying it's right because now whatever woman they deal with, they have to see that this man is hurt and try to get beyond those layers. But if I'm honest, men have to do that too when they interact with women.
Yeah.
Like she comes first with that hurt. And so once we both accept we're dealing with broken people, we're dealing with hurt people on both sides. Now we don't just jump to, all right, that's the energy you brought when I first met you, so I'm cutting you off.
Right.
We might be a little considerate. Now, I'm not saying be a fool, like don't be
Right,
stupid,
right.
but acknowledge, I don't know him, he doesn't know me. So maybe if I switch up how I approach.
So when it comes down to the match your energy conversation, I always tell women, come in the room with your own energy, own your
Right.
own energy, like throughout the process, throughout the dating process. I don't care what he or she is doing. I don't feel that that's an air quote that we really need to stop using in our culture, because matching energy, like I get treat people how you want to be treated. I hear the golden rules. Those make sense. But if I want to be pursued, I'm going to pursue. If I want to initiate, I want it to it's a give and take thing, and not just you do and I sit back here and enjoy the riches of you. I don't think that's really a thing that we should do to each other, and that's why I wanted to bring up the matches energy thing, because it's like, bring your own energy. If you got that energy, if you know you that, or you really be that person, it's gonna be on you. I promise you. It don't matter what room you walk in, the energy will flow with you if you allow the energy of goofiness or happiness or playfulness or sexy to take up. Then he ain't got no energy to match, which makes you more of a okay, let me see what this is. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a better approach to it. That's what I'm saying. So we kind of talk about this. We're gonna move on to another question. Was people have came to me about this topic, so I gotta ask. I don't know, but people say that heterosexual sex is labeled as boring or uninterested, right? So, which is basically saying that if you watch things, we all get a little porn in our eye, you know what I'm saying? If we watching it, they say like we're the boring scenes. We're like, if you're in heterosexual sex, it's typically
Right.
boring. This is what the comments coming in at.
No, but I mean, like, I asked that because if you're
But not trying to be funny, but in heterosexual sex, heterosexual meaning male and female sex is kind of the most, I would say, not talked about. When you're out here in the streets right now, people are talking about polys, people talking about swinging, people talking about being bisexual. It's like they want those titles. Like, but when you say, "Oh, I'm in a heterosexual relationship," people are like, "Oh, what y'all do? Look at each other. Oh, what y'all do? Fight and fuss." Like there's no spontaneity in heterosexual sex.
That sounds like
and I have to challenge
I feel
that.
like that sounds like someone who is like
a lot of heterosexual men are not allowed to be free.
Yeah.
A lot of heterosexual men feel like they can't be free.
So they're looking
You
at
know,
sex
so-
like they're in
free as in
textbook.
what?
Yeah,
Like
I
free,
didn't
like
know that.
heterosexual men are put in a box, compared to if you go into different circles. They feel that their sex is always the same way because they're not able to fly free without being judged by heterosexual women.
I would love to know what fly free mean.
Freedom.
No, I mean, I hear
Yeah,
you.
but like,
what
yeah,
does
what that look
mean?
like, yeah.
What is
Trying
the
to
rest
do,
of that?
right.
Like,
Trying
what
to
do
do
you?
something that could be perceived as something else if a woman is not open-minded.
I could see that,
Okay.
but I think it's just not knowing
or shame you.
I think just not knowing the body. You know, the body has so many nerve endings and there's so many approaches, and if you're boring, I think you're just uneducated. In my opinion, I don't want to.
Because
you know what I
whatever
mean?
you
I think
and your
it's very
person
personal.
do,
Yeah,
that's
like-
between y'all. Whether it's the same sex, the opposite sex, you know, you and your dog.
Yeah, like
Whatever
if,
you do,
if
yeah.
heterosexual sex is boring, I feel like that's them. Like that's a specific
Yeah.
thing. Like that's not like across the board.
Right.
Like you can't across the board be boring. Like that doesn't make sense.
Sounds the cry for help.
For help.
I think so.
But I think the way that they're trying to talk about it is when a lot of heterosexual women put barriers around what they think their partner should do, right? And it's because the way that the dynamics of the relationship works, even initiating in heterosexual sex is lower for women than it is for the men, because they're trained, or they think that the only way that a man is supposed to approach the bedroom is the only way that sex happens is if he initiates. And I hear that all the time, like, oh no, he needs to come to me if he wants sex. So this is why heterosexual sex becomes up as a topic, because people feel like it's like, dang, it's so many rules in this space to fly free, because you can't. If that's just initiation, that's not including if he wants to bring something new to the bedroom, and it's like, y'all know the words, borderline on the topic of is it gay or not gay, then he's getting like, it's like immediately shut down, and that's where the topic comes from.
It's the person. Like I feel like going to what you're saying, like borderline gay or whatever. If you dealing with a person, I feel like you should suss that out before you even try to bring up that if this is like a part of you, like you like to try things and you like to do stuff. Not everybody's gonna want to do that.
Right.
You kind of have to do your research and find somebody that's open to do that.
Yeah.
If you meet somebody today and next week and you asking the both of them to tickle your bum, like that's kind of weird. And of course you're gonna get no, because not all girls.
No, I wouldn't say that. I'm gonna say some people are in like long relationships. I'm talking about being with their partner for years and years and years and can't be free because of those guidelines.
Okay, but I think if we're talking free,
Not free, liberated. Let me
Okay,
say
thank
that.
you.
Like liberated in the
So-
bedroom, free to explore. Let's say those words.
I think
that's
that makes
different.
more sense.
Yeah, that's different.
But I also think it's how you introduce it.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I'm the only one married on the panel, right? So, 17 years. The sex we was having at year 1 is not the sex we're having at year 17.
Right.
And so it comes with education, and it does. When it comes to freedom, a lot of sex, especially if we're talking about a woman's orgasm, which I don't know if it's on the list, but it should be. If she doesn't feel safe,
It's
then
not
she's
happening.
not gonna have the
It's not
orgasm, right?
happening.
And so I think for a
Correct.
lot of men, if you're having boring sex, it's because your relationship is boring,
Right.
and you're not stimulating her emotionally and mentally
Right.
to where she feels safe. Because you can't introduce the handcuffs and the blindfolds and the spanking and even the teasing, the body mapping, the feathers, the ice, the chocolate. You can't introduce all those things if she doesn't feel safe, because you might trigger something. And if you don't know her past, you don't know what she might have been through that is a trigger.
Right.
But if she feels safe with you, and feeling safe with you happens before the bedroom, how you honor her as a person before you honor her punani, right? That's what makes the sex better. And so I think a lot of guys, they treat women like sexual objects, and then they get frustrated when it feels forced. But I'm gonna give y'all some free game, right? Which camera should I look at? This one, what's the camera so they can get this, right? That one right there. Listen, the free game. Treat her like a person that you value, and the sex will be, the safer she feels, the nastier she is. I promise you. It's so simple.
Yes.
And if you need examples of what it means to be a safe brother, listen, you can talk to them and they'll tell you. They will literally tell you.
listen?
I don't understand.
Correct.
What are we talking about?
Communication is very very, very important. Like it is key. It's key. But these are questions that people asking, so I'm asking y'all because they're asking me, and you're right. Being in a space, I would say a freedom goes both ways. You know, as a sexologist, I've seen it on both sides where I hear guys that get with women and say, you know, I don't want my woman using toys. I don't want my woman doing this. I want her doing this because I'm going to be, you know, she's not going to get everything she needs from me. And I feel like even that, or even on the spectrum with women, where it's like, I don't put those barriers on there because I feel like that's when you're in that space, you're afraid of something replacing you, right? Let's just be honest, right? I want to be valuable. I want to feel like I want to give it all. And a lot of times I have women literally calling me, hey, my man is, you know, stimulating himself so much. Like, I feel like I'm not enough. And I have to tell them all the time that even if you stimulate him every day, you shouldn't feel that you have to feel the capacity of his sexual needs. We're not, who can do that? Like, that's a large capacity for some people. Not everybody has a big bowl of sexual energy, but some people do. And some people feel like getting substitutes or things is helpful. And I don't feel like I'm lower or less than whether you're getting that or not. You know, and I think that's the space that whether you're in any form of relationship, heterosexual, you know, poly, whatever, these are the issues that arise because people don't feel they're good enough. They don't feel that they meet the capacity. They're not the full drink. They want to be everything. And it's hard to be everything for someone who's very sexual fluid.
Facts.
Right? And who wants to explore. Because you may not want to do everything on their yes, no, maybe list, but there is some yeses. And there is some maybes, and that's why I think people need to talk more.
And just to piggyback off of what Lawrence was saying, it's like he's been married for 17 years. People change. Like who you were in the first year of marriage, you're not the same in the second year of marriage, you're not the same in the fifth. You have to learn how to change with the marriage, with the person that you're with. Like, everybody is not going to stay on the same level. You have to learn how to, I hate to say match energy, but like you have to
grow together.
Yeah, together. Like
same erotic bond, you know,
at least wanting
to be right. So JQ Bro, what's up, Jay? Do y'all think that? Wait a minute. Why do people stay in sexless relationships and it is truly sustaining without the resentment building? So basically, how do they stay in relationships with sexless relationships without building resentment?
Don't get caught cheating.
Anybody else? No? Okay.
prayer.
Sexless relationship?
I think you gotta identify why it's sexless first.
Yes.
In therapy.
Like, is this a choice? Or are we just holding out from each other for whatever reasons?
There could be
like, it's a conversation to be had.
There could be emotional reasons. There could be
mental
reasons, because you can go through something. You can go through something emotional. You can lose a loved one. You could lose your job and almost lose your mind. I don't know, anything. And even though your human nature may want to engage in sex, but there may be something that's just like, I just can't do it. Like, I'm just...
I feel you.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not that I'm not attracted to you. I'm just not... I literally am not in a space where I can even just, you know... Or I got a lot on my... Hey, dating a single mother. Yeah. Or a single father, you know, that's a lot of energy that it has to give out. And hey, if I don't feel like it, I know I'm not.
And
so they say, why do people stay in sexless marriages? There's a number of different reasons why you stay in sexual marriages.
I thought you said how.
Or why. And I think it definitely comes down also to, like Chelsea said about life, or everybody say life has a span, but a lot of people don't understand that sex has a span. Right? And you have different spaces in sex, resting, healing, you know, curious, adventurous, you know, transformational, which is things that Lawrence talked about in the beginning. So with sex constantly changing, you have to be willing to adapt. And what happens is the body's going to do what the body's going to do. There's going to be menopause. There's going to be health problems. There's going to be things. And the first thing that goes is your libido. The first thing that goes is your sexual interest. The first thing that goes is the things that you want to keep, you know? And that's just the way it works. You know, when you're losing weight, the first thing that goes is your ass. You know, it's like, well, dang, y'all could have kept that. I'm trying to get rid of everything else. It's the same thing when you come down to the sexual space. The first thing that goes, the first thing that the medicine that focuses on, the first thing that even right now, if you're on anxiety medication, the first thing they attack is your libido.
I hear you.
Your sexual stimulation is the first thing that goes. So getting into a space where your marriage may be, or in relationships where the sex is sexless, remember that the mind and the emotional is just as important as the physical. And if you focus on the emotional and the physical, the emotional and the mental, then it can help with the physical, right? A lot of people don't understand that a libido assessment, when the emotions and the mental are down, the libido's down anyway. So if you don't feel good and you feel like your partner's not attracted to you because you can't, you know, in other words, you have struggling with ED or even down the menopause and things like that, dryness and vaginal dryness, talk about it and get things to help. There's so many tools out there for
That's
this
true.
job.
And the things that help is another person. I know we're not really talking about it, but if because I'm the only guy, so I got to kind of rep for the guys a little bit, right? I mean, I can understand there needs to be a time of grace where I'm struggling with you,
Yeah.
right? But this is my life to live too.
Right.
At some point, we need to have a conversation. Where it's like, look, I'm gonna hold you down. I'll go to your sessions. I'll hold your hand. You can cry on my shoulder.
Right.
And once you fall asleep, I'll be right back.
Right.
No, I think that.
And I'm gonna have to go get those needs met somewhere. If you are not able, and if you're not willing, whatever the case is, go through your process of healing. I'm gonna support you how you'll be priority in that regard. But then when I need my needs met, I think there needs to be conversations. I mean, men like to call it a hall pass. I don't typically like to call it a hall pass per se, but some type of agreement
Right.
that says what you're doing with these other people is just sex,
Right.
because I'm not capable right now because of wherever I am mentally, emotionally, physically, whatever the case is.
Right.
There's even an African tribe where when the woman just gives birth, you know, how after she, you know, she's really clinging to the, that's when she would go to her mother's tribe and he's free to find a second wife. During that they have a structure in place. We don't have that here in the U.S. That's why things are so messy. But I think something like that should exist.
While I heal up, you go bust
So somebody
out.
else wrote here.
Yes.
This was a good
I'm
question.
supposed to be celibate because you ill.
Right. Someone said something about hall pass. Is hall pass okay? But we're going to hold on. Wait a minute. Someone said, why do people lie about the amount of sex that they have? Does the number even matter if the skills are at 100?
They have or
or
have to.
partners.
They've
Yeah,
had.
right.
How much sex they've had. So partners. I'm pretty
Partners?
sure.
Okay.
Why do people lie about it? And
society.
does it matter
That's
if
maybe
the
only
skills are on 10, pretty much? What y'all
Society.
think? Society.
Yeah, just
It's all these fake standards.
yeah, made up. Made up. You shouldn't have more than or do more than or
Because you like
'Cause
them
you-
because they know how to do what they do.
right.
Right.
But you liked them before you knew they could do it.
Yeah, but now you really like them.
Especially if it's on 100, right? So I would say here, sex is a skill,
It is.
right? A lot of sex that people, if you didn't, a lot of people get straight into marriage, right? So they get out of high school, they go straight into marriage, and they
You
explore
said a
together.
lot of people do that?
Not a lot of people.
Okay.
Some people.
I was just saying that.
And then other people go through sexual experiences, right? And I think that's where the crippling part, because you said sex education or getting sex education. A lot of us get into sex and we don't know what we're doing, and it's kind of horrible at first, and then it grows to what it's supposed to be, right? And so I think sex is a skill, and if you with somebody that's done had, I don't think women look at, I don't know, no, let me not say that. I don't know if women look at body count as a thing, but I know that is a common conversation. I think younger, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if body count even matters if the skills is on 10.
Talking about with women?
Yeah.
'Cause I can speak from a man's perspective. It's
Does body
complicated.
count matter when you 39, 40?
I would say to a mature man it shouldn't matter.
That's what I say.
When you're, like you said, when you're younger, it only matters because of the judgments we attach to it. If we're gonna be honest about it, you know, sometimes the judgments are true and sometimes they're not. It's very, very nuanced. If the skills are where they are, I think if you lie and say, oh, you know, I've only had like 2 partners, and you're like going crazy, you know, that's when
She might be crazy with you. She might be
Yeah.
crazy.
on yourself.
She might be crazy
but
with you.
it becomes a trust issue at that point. You know?
That's so good, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Like, nah, that wasn't your 3rd time. Nah, you done. Nah, so who taught you that one? That was crazy.
Like
But
that.
it's a ridiculous, like, double standard, though, in a sense. Simply because, okay, you want to associate a body count with a value of that person.
Right.
You know, but if you don't know that and you love that person or you lust for that person, whatever it may be, you're caught up in that moment. You don't know that, then it don't matter.
Right.
You
That's
know?
true.
So it's like the only reason that you're concerned about it is because of what other people might say. You know, like for guys, I want to know because what if my homeboy had you?
Facts.
You know, that sort of thing. So it's like,
It's a
and
real
you're-
thing.
yeah,
It's a real thing.
it becomes like this weird standard because at the end of the day, it's like you mess around, you fall in love with that girl. Now you mad at your homeboy because he said that he had her.
Yeah. No, there's a thing where guys want to feel like they're either the only or the chosen few to have her. It's like a thing, and I don't know if women see it
Has
that
that
way.
chin?
It is like
That's what that is.
because the way that guys look at it, and we might need to change our perspective, but the way that guys look at it is if she values herself to that level and she chooses me to enter into that space, that makes me valuable. That's how the men are looking at it. Y'all seen it as just sex, but it's like,
Okay,
you know,
so-
if anybody can hit it, then I'm not special.
So let's flip it on its
it's
head.
selfish.
Let's
It's
flip
very,
it on
very
its head
selfish.
because guys are perceived amongst their friends as being more valuable based off the amount of girls that they have had.
Correct.
So if that is the case, then I can look at you and say, "Oh, you trash because you've been out here and you didn't mess with X amount of girls." So that's why I say it's this weird double standard.
Yeah, but y'all don't do that. As a matter of fact, statistically speaking, women are attracted to men that other women are attracted to.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it could be a double
Because
standard.
nobody wants somebody that nobody wants.
Yeah, exactly. So
Both
it
ways.
works for us too. But that's why we'll inflate our numbers and y'all will decrease your numbers.
But until the stories, like if it's got stories
Yeah.
attached, it's like nah.
Because growing up, that's definitely a thing, especially in like high school. Like, we just doing whatever, sticking the movie or the wood. Y'all know if everybody love the wood.
Yeah.
It had a whole movie based off of getting the pot of money at the end. That's the thing where talking about body count for women. It's like crickets because it makes the men and a lot of time it makes the men uncomfortable with
true.
knowing the number, or like you said, I think it was what you said at the end was they want to know that they're special. They don't want to know nothing. Keep the details to yourself.
And
Okay.
it only matters if I want to be with you. Like if I just want to smash, your numbers are irrelevant.
That's true.
You get what I'm saying? So it's only if I actually love you. Now it's
now
like
it's
okay.
I don't want to. I don't want to hear nothing.
Yeah. But it's like if she just letting everybody hit, then dang, and I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying that's the thinking. Like, yo,
Right.
that don't mean I'm anything special. She would be with anybody. While like the guy, okay, most guys, we can call it ego, we can call it pride. But when a certain type of woman, and that's different for everybody, but when a certain type of woman says there's something about you that makes me want to be with you, it gives them an esteem. It makes them feel special. As a matter of fact, men judge other men by the wives they have. When he got that one, it's like, oh, he must be because can't nobody just get her.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like that, and maybe we don't talk enough about those social struggles that men go through. So it's like, okay, if she's a neighborhood hoe and I get with her, other guys are like, oh, he a dummy. How he going? And it messes up those dynamics, even in a business sense.
In the military too, they call Barry hoes. We had a lot of them. And baby, you was like for a Barry hole, it was over for you. You had to move to a whole new news station. Baby, you gotta start over, but at least you could. At least you could.
But that really is what
At
you
least
do.
you
You
could
move.
start
You go
over.
somewhere else.
Okay.
You create a whole new
You had
identity.
no Barry hole, baby. It was bad. Then you was just trash. You was just out there then, baby. But it's true.
No, on what you said about men being judged by their wives, I can't count the number of men who lead with what their wife does. And it's like,
Is
see
that a
what I was able to do?
Yeah, no, that's a fact.
That's
That's a fact. I got me that's a
what I
fact.
was able to do.
That's a fact.
You know, whether and it could be about, and I can speak on this because I was married to my high school sweetheart for almost 10 years. So I understand being a housewife, being taken care of. Look, if you leave a situation where somebody pay all your bills, just know. Because I'm not out here like, I don't need a man. No. I had to get up out of there.
He can hit you when you had a good man.
Listen, like, you know,
He's a good
if you have a
man.
good man or a good woman, keep that
funny.
because there is not a lot out here. Not
That's a
because there's
fact.
not a lot out here, because who you are is special.
Yeah.
So you need somebody who's truly compatible for you. But
That's
anyway,
a
I'm
fact.
saying that
That's
to
a-
say that part where a lot of men will lead with, and not just men, but I see a lot of the time it's like, yeah, because she's such and such. I was like, oh, okay.
And for the ones who aren't married, it's their baby mama. When it's like you got a bad baby mama, yeah, that's my
Yes.
baby mom. It's the same type of, oh, you got it.
claim
Oh,
me.
I
That's
see
what
you.
I'm
Da, da, da.
Claim me.
Basically, y'all worst is in
Your
y'all
woman.
with.
Yeah.
An aspect of it, because
A
after
small
that you can
aspect.
make
That's
some
what
money.
that sounds
It ain't
like.
small. No,
I'm about to
no.
say, I
it
think
ain't
that's
small.
an
It's
aspect.
really
But it
like
feels good though.
it do feel good, but the aspect is big socially. Like other men, literally, like the way that they esteem you by either the wife you have, the current girl you have, the baby mamas that you have, because we still have this idea that a woman would never let you like claim her unless like that type of woman. That's solely based off of how she looked for the most part, but even how she presents herself, how she talks. If she's a certain whatever, it's like we create this scenario in our brains that says this type of woman would never just settle for anything less than great. We create that. We kind of put y'all on that pedestal. Now the players don't do that. The players are the ones saying they're all equal. So they're just going around slinging. But there's there's an internal thing that says, nah, that certain women are more valuable by their sexual value in the marketplace, by how they're able to handle other high-level men, because that's the other thing. If I bring you around millionaires and you're just a goofy that's going to be giggling in everybody's face because they got money, I can't claim you as my wife. Because one of these dudes will try to smash just to see if he can, just to see. And it's to say I'm more of an alpha, if you will. I'm a better man than you because I hit your
I'm
girl.
gonna pee on your tree.
Yeah, exactly.
That what I hear.
So when
I'm
women be
pissed
like,
on
yo,
the
it's
shoe.
just what I'm like, yo, you don't even, you embarrassing me, which makes it hard for me to make money, which makes it hard for us to have this lifestyle. Like, you need to chill.
I've heard
Right.
that
So-
some people say that they don't trust a man that's not married.
Yeah, that's real. That's
don't
real in
trust
business.
the
Business,
Yeah, that's
they don't-
real in
they're
business.
not-
There's some
that-
loyalty there. I
Or
don't
just
know.
stability. A
Yes.
woman,
Being
Yeah.
able- or something like a second person. So someone said, got two more
right.
questions. Is there such thing as too much when it comes down to oral sex? Like, so basically,
Too
is
much
it
what?
too much oral sex? And or is
No.
oral sex a real love
Who
language?
said no?
I mean,
Which camera shot?
sex, oral sex is sex. What are we saying?
We want oral sex.
You
That's,
can't get enough.
Unless it's not pleasurable.
Oh, true. They're using teeth.
If
in the
it's
wrong
not,
way.
because everybody does not like that though. Everybody does not like that, which is so wild.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
everybody does not like it. So unless you are not into that, I don't want to shame anybody because everybody's
That's
not.
true.
Ugh. But
okay.
but everybody ain't into that. So it's like I have had some women say, I just like to get straight. I just like my dude to get straight too. It's like, oh.
Yeah, I had this conversation with my partner the other day, and I asked him, "What if she didn't do it?" And he was like,
We wouldn't be together.
he was like, "Not me." He was talking about that, but we was saying, what do you think about women? He said, I just think it's just, he said it's ratchet and it's ghetto, and I was like, what? He's like, because dang, it's 2025.
Oh, so he don't want it.
No, he was saying like if you
Oh.
ain't doing it, it's like, dang, that's just ghetto.
I mean, you ain't gotta just
If
be
you
out
like
here
doing it, it's
in your
ghetto.
mouth.
If you
You're
don't,
not
If
doing it.
you
If
don't.
you don't,
Okay.
if you don't enjoy
or
it.
you're not
Trying to
getting
show
it.
understand.
Yeah.
I want to be clear, like what we're saying exactly.
Like she doing it right.
Right, because they talk about that, you know what I'm saying? So someone said, I don't trust a man with a large. Okay, all right. Well, y'all is definitely giving life in these comments. I just want to put that out there. These comments is lit. I don't trust a man with a large.
Tell her, ask her why.
Somebody want to know why.
Ask her why, but also since I'm the only guy here, let me ask y'all, what's considered large, right? Because statistically speaking, when I learned that 5.5 is the average, I started gloating, like, hold up. Nigga out here, look, he's killing it. So what's considered?
Actually,
you know what I'm saying?
factually, it's only 3 to 5 inches. Okay.
I'm out here like,
No.
oh my God, I'm sorry, go ahead.
To give pleasure. On average.
Say your household is happy. Say your household is happy.
Okay, I'm gonna do Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
My bad, guys.
Okay, now, so
I'm excited.
I got quiet. Right.
What?
Not average, but so statistically,
Yes.
to give pleasure 3 to 5 inches, because the female canal is only 3 to 5 inches
But
long.
bust that.
Right? So that's what they mean by can you give pleasure from all sizes. The true answer is really yes, but in the black community, we just have a little
Clearly.
Are definitely higher, and that started from back, but when they used to dress, from slavery, would have a pulled hand.
Yeah.
So that started back then.
What's that?
The sizing or the expectation of a black
Yeah.
man, it started from culture back in slavery time. That's
Right.
what it,
And there's showers and growers. We have
Right.
to be specific.
So that's what
But
you
to
said.
me, a grower that's childish.
Wait a minute. That's and I know it's just my that's
You
me.
don't
That's
like
just me.
growers?
I didn't say I didn't like them. I think they're childish. I think it's childish. I think it's very childish.
To hide.
I'm not hiding. I'm glad. Slide.
I didn't get to choose. I just think it's childish. We don't get to choose.
That's not her fault, though. It's just her preference.
Right,
I'm
it's
not
a
saying
preference,
that you can't.
But he is right. The
I just-
average now, the average
Come on
quote
out.
is 5 inches.
Yeah, 5
But
inches.
okay, the female canal itself is only 3 to 5
Is there
inches.
documentation in your books about the black man?
So no, but men, period.
Yeah,
right?
we do got
They're
check
different,
that.
but yes, when it comes down to the size of it, then yes, but any pleasurable size in that category, right? And a lot of
When
women don't
erect,
understand,
though.
and we're gonna finish up. A lot of women don't understand the pressure that men feel from these type of conversations.
Hey, I understand.
Like the growers,
I just
the growers versus the showers,
There's
and
nothing
the
wrong
pressure
with it. You can.
of
You're special.
You're not taking a rule out anyway.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying?
And most of them are not doing any measurement, but that is probably the number one question I get as a sexologist
you don't
from
wanna be
men
surprised
clients
for the wrong
is
reasons.
what size
What you just
is
said.
decent,
You don't wanna
and
have
that's
low
because society and a lot of people go and look at porn, but porn is a show.
Yeah.
It is not real. So what we go and look at pornography, and then we translate that to, we do comparisons,
Yeah.
and they're not really,
Everybody's
good.
trying to pee.
Yeah.
Squirt.
It's
Hey,
squirt.
wait, don't,
And that's
don't
not
shame. We are not squirt shaming up in
We didn't say anything was wrong. I'm just saying everybody. If you see it on the movie,
I mean, I
and
get
you
what
try
you're
to do it at home.
It's a skill set. It can be
It
learned.
doesn't mean that you can't. I'm just saying
Every
that
woman
may
can.
put pressure
Every
on
woman
some
can.
women.
Let y'all know,
it might
every
put
woman
pressure on
can,
someone.
but it may not, do. It's same thing we talked about when the males beside the
Right.
the
It may not shoot out there,
expectation
No.
of it. It's not realistic because it may not
Go get a
shoot.
drizzle
It may
or
drizzle. It may drizzle down. It may go ski.
And it depends on how hydrated you are. There's a lot.
It's a lot of different ways to see that, okay?
I can tell you.
It's just depending on
Hey,
that.
of course on that one.
Y'all are crazy. We done took this whole to another level. Quickly, I done fell out my chair with that one. So y'all, we are at InstaSpace Studio. I definitely want to give a shout out to InstaSpace. We gotta definitely give one last round to the amazing powerhouse entrepreneurs here located in Huntsville, and they're gonna be traveling. We gonna put blessings on all their businesses, because we're all standing here as full-time entrepreneurs. And then we also in Sexpectation Studios, which y'all, if y'all want videography, if you need flyers, if you need, I don't know, reels, if you need photos, this is my go-to place. Like, I love Sexpectation. They are really like, think about, yeah, love y'all, yeah. Okay. Anyways, and tonight was definitely wrong. We started off small. We got real big.
We're showers.
Okay, I'm sorry. Ready, Nita? Okay.
And there's nothing. I just want to put that out there. That could be my future husband. Look, baby, it's okay.
It's okay.
I'm a lot. You know, I'm a laugh, but it's okay. Like, it's
all in good fun. It's like, I'm there.
There you go. Yeah, that's what we do.
That's the reaction. Okay, we're done. Okay, so y'all, we thank y'all so much for coming. Thank y'all for dropping as many. I mean, y'all gave me questions, and then y'all came in with a lot of questions. Before we leave, it was somebody on there that asked about their marriage and being with someone that was at a younger age or whatever. Just because I didn't get to your questions, I will have you reach out to you personally and do some one-on-one sessions with you for free, because you did come onto the podcast seeking answers for your relationship, and it does matter to me. Okay, so contact me and we will connect. All right. So thank you, girl. So teary. Okay, so we're ending tonight. Do y'all have anything else to say? And I'm gonna let them go around and one last time and just tell how to find them at something, at where they at, with their businesses at, their locations. First, start off with Sexpectation Studios. If you don't know what it is, we'll definitely tag it below. But we're right here on, is this 54?
53.
Highway 53, right? And they do the murder mystery dinners as well, so you may know a lot about them. You definitely got to work with them.
We went.
Yeah. Okay, now we're gonna start, Talina. Just where they can, how to add you, and
thank you again, Sexpectation and Nita and all the wonderful entrepreneurs. Thank you. My name is Talina. I am Talina, your host. You can find me at talinayourhost.com or on IG, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn at talinayourhost.com or at model Talina. So mixologist extraordinaire. We have mixology workshops coming up. Nita attended our first official Who's Thirsty mixology workshop, so we'd love to have you out. And thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Hi. What were we supposed to say again? You can find me on, Facebook, Chelsea Nicholas. Instagram, my name is Chelsea. Or the Lock Magician if you want your hair done. And I also have a food club, Meals and Melanin Network. So men are not invited. But only for the women. We need our safe space.
I understand. I respect.
But yes, that's it.
Okay. Stephanie?
I am Stephanie with Humanity Studios. That is on all platforms. It's HUEMANITY. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that kind of good stuff. We host the livest paint parties in North Alabama. We're always looking for some people to come in, have some fun. We do birthday parties, anniversaries, girls' night out, kids' parties, a little bit of everything. So we're just your go-to for fun.
Okay. I'm Lawrence Souffrant, at Lawrence Souffrant on all platforms. And I gotta get the men some meals on wheels or something. We gotta eat. We gonna figure it out. So look, we're gonna work it out. But for now, I'm your life coach with emphasis on emotional intelligence and masculine and feminine energy. I joke around a lot, but honestly, all the sessions are confidential, and my goal is to make you a better person, the best person that you see yourself being, not what society wants you to be.
And shout out to his wifey.
Shout out, Boo. It's her birthday. Thank you for the support, babe. I love you.
It's her birthday, so we love you. And for everybody on the live, y'all know who I am. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Nita Love, your certified sexologist and loveologist located in Huntsville. And you can find me at NitaLoveExperience.com. I do it all. And that's all we're going to say. Wrap it up. Have a good night.
I see what you did
Boom,
there.
bada bada.
I see what you did
I've
there.
been using that on my reels.
Yeah, that's good.